That toy life. To catch these ghosts, you need the real Ghostbusters.
Nice landing, Han Solo.
Spaceships and Luke Skywalker sold separately. Batteries not included.
That toy life.
What up?
It's Ray, Austin, and
Nobody.
And
so what ended up happening was we ended up firing somebody. So if you notice that there's somebody missing tonight, that's who got fired.
We legally cannot say that person's name.
We cannot. We can't say their name. We can't really. I'm just trying to think of how long we can even mention subjects by. I don't want to.
We could just refer to the subject as the garbage. So from here on forth, when we refer to the subject,
garbage,
we just call it the garbage. Like last week, we were talking to the garbage about the garbage stuff going on.
Right. And like, dude, did you hear like the garbage actually got a hold of my credit card and did a lot of like fraud? You know what I mean? Like what a garbage person that takes to be a garbage. Anyway, I don't know if I should have talked about that, but anyways, so welcome guys. Welcome to the toy show. That's where it's all fun and games about toys. No, but actually, Ashley's had a death in the family and couldn't be here tonight, so we wish him well, and we are so sorry to hear about it, buddy, and we'll see you soon.
Yeah.
But anyway, so first off, big friggin' news, because we're in Cinco de Mayo today, which is a huge day because it's the day after May the 4th, apparently, because now May the 4th is a national holiday to everybody, and I guess we just do Star Wars stuff like all day.
Well, it's weird.
Star Wars pinatas and stuff.
I've noticed there's a couple of days in May that have suddenly like taken on Star Wars themes. Like I think today actually I think you can call it Revenge of the 5th is what I've seen.
Revenge of the 5th, and then
because isn't today George Lucas's birthday? I think, or is it this month?
Could be. Hey, look, watch this. I can Google it real quick. But speaking of George Lucas, just if it is his birthday, I just want to say in memory. Don't you May the 14th is his birthday?
Oh, so we're
but in memory of George Lucas and for creating Star Wars, man, don't you remember the George Lucas sketch on Mad TV? I feel like that doesn't get brought up enough. Like,
if you wanted fries, you should have ordered fries.
Yeah,
that joke will always stick with me forever.
Oh my god!
Anytime I bring it up too often with my wife, if she happens to want a fry on that plate and she wants it, there has to be no context for it. I'll just suddenly do the kind of Will Sasso George voice. I'm like, well, you want a fry? You should order fries.
Yeah, no, I'll do the same thing where it's like the freak out at first. I know, just take them. No, take the fry. Here, take the fry. And then when they finally take the fry and they eat, and he's just like, if you wanted fries, you should have gotten fries. Should have ordered fries. And like, I just remember, and then like, I always remember the cut to him like in the Ewoks outfit, like crying with a beer bottle or something like that.
Typing also, didn't he?
Oh
there was one part where he was
like
typing out a laptop, and it looked like he was just typing nonsense because he was like, I think he was just hitting the keyboard.
Dude, Will Sasso was just pure gold on that show, because I think it was Will Sasso that played George Lucas, it was.
He was one of their. Mad T. I don't want to disparage the other actors because everybody on that show was gold in one way or another.
I think that
Michael McDonald.
Yeah. I would say if you really had to look, like, obviously Mad TV didn't run that long. If you really look at like compared to Saturday Night Live. Yeah, if you look at Mad TV and just its one span, I don't think it ever had like a weak cast. Everybody was a superstar pretty much that come into that joint, and it just didn't last. That's what's weird, is it just didn't last, I guess, because it couldn't be the American institution that Saturday Night Live had already become.
But I will say
it should have.
Yeah, but they did. I would say that I think they were probably one of the few live sketch shows that probably gave any pause to SNL.
I would say, because I think it lasted longer than in Living Color, right? Because in Living Color, I think it lasted 5, 6 years. No, it was like maybe 5, 6 seasons. Because it was like, I mean, if you look at it, it was in the cusp of like going from I think 88, 89 into the 90s, I think. So it didn't run long, but it was long enough that everybody
5 seasons. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I was going to say I knew it was like one of those weird numbers where it seems like a long time, but it's really not that long. So it's kind of gone. But I think Mad ran for what 10 seasons at least or 10 years.
Oh yeah, it hadn't been that long since they. I mean, well, it is now, but they ended in
it definitely
2016.
Mad TV. I was going to say, well, I want to say it didn't they bring it back and then it ended in 2016? Didn't they do like some sort of a reboot?
I think so.
I think the original run was just from 95 to 2009, dude. So that was like over 10 years. Mm-hmm. So I'm just saying, like Mad TV had staying power, and to me, like you mentioned Michael McDonald, but Will Sasso and Nicole Sullivan and Alex Bornstein.
I was trying to remember some of the other actors.
Nicole Sullivan and Alex Bornstein were like the standouts. They were so friggin' funny. And then you would have like Saturday Night Live always kind of ebbed and flowed. You would have like some really good people that would come out of cast, but you kind of had to there was some that just weren't as great, or just kind of were good supporting characters. But Mad TV definitely had some staying power. But speaking of that George Lucas sketch, it was just, to me, I feel like they should, I don't know, I could see them just playing that every May 4th now or something. I don't even know if it's on YouTube. Well,
speaking, another like funny Star Wars connection though with Mad TV was Deborah Wilson. I forgot. I was gonna say Mo Collins, but I knew that was wrong. But Deborah Wilson, she was
Collins.
Mo Collins is great, but Deborah Wilson, she was in Fallen Order. She was character's name. Sarah Junda.
Yeah, I was going to say and you know what's funny is I did not even think about the fact that was the first, because I'd always wondered, because I had loved her so much. I'm like, where in the world did I first see her? Now it's all clicking. Mad TV, because she was friggin' hilarious on Mad TV. Yeah. So yeah, no, I mean you had a lot of power, and we'll get off the Mad TV train, and this isn't like Star Wars related. But I loved the Lord of the Rings. I just loved their Lord of the Rings sketch that time, because it was like I just remember it being some sort of, was it Little Kim? Was it like Little Kim in the? I have to look it up. It was something like, let's see what they did. It was like Mad TV, Lord of the Rings, but I want to say it was like Little Kim was like Little Kim is Froho, and it was just Lord of the Bling. That's what it was called. Okay. Let me see, Mad TV, Lord of the Bling. Yeah, it was. I don't know exactly I just remember it was something like that. It was, Little Kim and all that stuff on it. But anyway, it was great stuff. But speaking of Star Wars and all that, they, during the May 4th stuff, they made, excuse me, they released a lot of toy news. Mm-hmm. Some of it was pretty big,
and some of it was kind of mediocre. Yeah. Well, how about we build to the big one, and then we'll start with the mediocre stuff, because Hasbro had a live stream, and they revealed. Do we have a list? Do you have a list of things they revealed?
All I know is like from what I can share it, but they had they had first mentioned. I mean, I think the biggest reveal was the lightsaber. Ooh, I think I'm sharing the wrong tab is what it is. Yoinks. But where am I at? Obi-Wan Wednesdays. Anyway, there you go. It's this was like, to me, big news for a lot of people, because I haven't seen this yet. And I'm assuming they're going to do a similar feature to the Luke Skywalker, like the Galaxy's Edge Legacy blade that I have, where you'll be able to switch out these parts. See this piece, all of this right here will just, you just unscrew it, the top, and then swap it out with the solid piece to put the blade in.
Yeah, well, they showed that in the live stream. How it works.
Okay, sweet.
So,
sweet.
I mean, it's funny too. If you look at the neck, you'll notice in just the hilt by itself version, the neck is a lot thinner than when you have the blade in it.
Oh yeah, that's just. I mean, like that's what my Luke is like, and it's obviously because Luke modeled his design exactly after Obi-Wan's, but except for Obi-Wan, his connects with the little. If you look, it's like the little connector here, instead of Luke's has the little what do you call that? The hook,
Oh yeah, the little
a
belt
loop
clip
or whatever, a belt loop.
hook.
While
Belt
this
hook,
one's like a
yeah.
little clip thing,
Mhm.
And but anyway, that's really the only major difference other than some of the coloration. But I'm impressed. I mean, just in the way it looks great.
Yeah, it does
If you
look
look,
great.
it has a little bit of wear on it. I bet they're, because it's supposed to be sort of, him taking it to
Unused 10
Tatooine with
years,
him
yeah.
and all
Yeah.
that. So you get the unused plus the Tatooine wear. I'm sure just as natural on it. I'm excited. I mean, they revealed obviously the
A Vader helmet.
Vader
yeah.
helmet, which is whatever, but it's cool. I mean,
If you're wanting a Vader helmet, there you go. I mean, it
There
does
you
look
go.
great. Like the
Uh-huh.
detail on it does look fantastic. I think it does come apart just like the helmet does in the movie, like where the top comes off, and I think the mask separates just like it does in the.
Oh yeah, it's probably got the way it looks here. I bet it's some sort of a magnet system and stuff like that, similar to the. Do you remember? Did you ever play around with the Marvel Iron? Excuse me, it was the Iron Man helmet. It was like where the faceplate could come off, because that was like a really cool feature, and it was all magnetized and stuff.
I don't think I got to play with that. That sounds awesome
cool.
though.
Oh, it was really cool. But no, I mean, this was. I remember there was this, and then Ewan had revealed the figure. Not sure if that was on the Insta or what.
Well, we can do the. Well, let's do the other ones first though, because they did reveal some other figures. Here I can switch it over to mine, so we can do that. Let me share. All right.
Yeah.
So first off, there's a retro collection coming out.
So they're going to be re-releasing, similar to what they did with the Empire Strikes Back figures. Yeah. They're going to be re-releasing these, I guess, which is kind of weird that they're going in that order, but it's cool for obviously if you're a retro collector, these are going to be big time for you. Because I could understand if they were doing mine, like a re-release of the Power of the Force line, I'd be all over it.
Yeah,
which would be interesting if they did one day.
I always thought it's not my style, but I did always kind of think it was clever, I guess, with the how the lightsabers would work with these. Was like it was inside the arm and it just comes back out.
Yeah, it reminded me of my Hook. I had a Hook figure from Kenner, and it was like his lightsaber swung out.
Oh, so yeah, I think I remember one like that.
It kind of reminded me of that, except his was a little more. It worked a little better because he had the hook arm, so it was good to conceal it under the arm and all that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but
it really it kind of limits the movement though. Mm-hmm. All right, so Black Series figures, we kind of got some okay reveals. If you're into it, we got Leia from the Ewok village.
But what's crazy is, why does she have Wicket's stick? I want, now we got to have a Wicket with, Wicket should have came with her. That's something I want as a Black Series Wicket.
So, they haven't already made him as a Black Series?
I don't think so. Not that I can remember, unless it was in the original Black Series line before they started revamping them a little bit and putting them in different packaging.
Yeah, because I'd be surprised if they didn't do that. But
and let me speak for example. I was going to say I had an experience in a Walmart the other day, and I could probably still go back and get one right now. I saw they had a bunch of those. It's the 7-inch Black Series. They're like on card back, but they're like the classic. It's like they have like the Princess Leia with the buns and the white dress from Episode 4, and she's on card back. And then you can get they've got Obi-Wan from Episode 3 on card back. And if you remember, I still have Obi-Wan from Episode 3, the original Black Series. In the black box. Remember those original black boxes that the Black Series first started coming in?
Mm-hmm.
So the Obi-Wan in that one, the sculpture's like whatever, it looks decent for its time and all that. The new one's supposed to have an updated face sculpt and stuff, and dude, it doesn't look any better to me. It looks really bad.
The very new
Obi-Wan. Not this new one, but the one I'm talking about, the variant at Walmart. It's like a re-release of Episode 3
archive collection.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. The archive collection, and it's like a re-release, but they do better face sculpts of the figures and stuff. And And yeah, dude, it's terrible. That Obi-Wan one, like the new one that Ewan showed off, looks great.
Yeah.
Like that's why I'm like now that, and I've even the episode 2 Obi-Wan Black Series looks great. But for some reason they couldn't super nail it on 3 for some for whatever, like with the face sculpt.
Well, I did see someone put up a comparison between the episode 3 face sculpt and the Clone Wars Obi-Wan face sculpt for Black Series.
Mm-hmm.
The Clone Wars face actually looks really good.
That was the one. Was that the one from Walgreens? It was like a Walgreens.
Yeah, it's the Walgreens exclusive, which is like super hard to get.
I forgot about that one. Yeah, I looked. Well, see, I looked in all our Walgreens and never found it. Lots of Tron toys, lots of Nightmare Before Christmas. No, none of that. But anyway, they I remember that one looking really good, but I've never gotten my hands on it to give it a good look through. But yeah, I remember that one looking pretty decent. But I just, for whatever reason, the face sculpt on the episode 3 one, like I said, the one I have, I almost prefer it because it's almost like they're kind of like an artist stab at it before they were able to get like the real, like trying to get the face sculpt like perfected, almost like, but just that, I don't know, it's almost like a screen ready face. I don't know. They've really mastered it now for the most part. So whenever I see things like that, it's always kind of questionable, like why they at least screw that up. Because I mean, obviously the body will be, even her body right here looks like I recognize that body sculpt, or at least the arm sculpts look like something off of something completely different that I've seen before.
Well, one thing that I will say that, we were talking about how they've had trouble getting Ewan's face right. They really did a good job though with Leia, I've noticed.
Yeah. Oh yeah. This was a good figure. So yeah, if you're wanting it, yeah, it's definitely a good figure to get.
Well, the next one I would say is pretty interesting. I mean, if you're into this stuff, but if you want to start building the band, apparently they've started putting the band together for oh God, what's the name of this band?
Oh, you're talking about the
Bith.
Like the Bith. I'm trying to remember their proper name, but you're talking about the Cantina band.
Yeah.
That's what's so sad is like I just haven't thought about it in so long that what is Cantina band? They are, I know.
Because it's more than one. It's him. It's this one figuring Dan.
Because I know that it's Cy Snoodles in the Max Rebo band and all that in Return of the Jedi, but I always just considered them the Cantina band, but I really don't know.
Well, if you see how they're
the modal nodes, maybe
the
figuring Dan in the modal nodes. Okay,
and we also have, so you get 2. So they've revealed 2 of them. But were there more than 2 members in the band? I always thought there were 4, but I could be wrong.
I thought there was 4 or 5. I thought at least 4. I'm looking at one picture here. I count at least 4, but maybe even 6. Maybe even 6. I know there was a lot of them. They were just, remember, they were all shoved into that corner. Yeah. So it was just like you really can only see 4 that good. But that actually looks good.
Yeah, this is a cool little deluxe looking set. A lot of accessories that come with it. So it's like you can have them doing multiple types of instruments.
Wow, that's so cool.
Like this definitely falls into more of the completionist type of set.
And you know what's funny is I actually wouldn't mind. I probably wouldn't mind collecting these up at some point if I could find them for decent prices. It's just you can't. Number one, I can't find good figures anymore. It's always junk figures, or like I say junk as in just the same figure. Like
peg warmers.
I still see the peg warmers like Lando, over and over and over and over and over. And I'm like, at a certain point, I just feel like they would put that in a at least in a discount bin and try to put some better stuff out. Just more variety, because I see lots of variety in the like Marvel and DC and stuff, but in terms of the Star Wars, they don't even try anymore.
Yeah. Another one, we got another clone.
Oh, nice.
So this is Clone War from the 187th Battalion. It looks like it's another repaint, and I think one problem with this is I think this might be a exclusive for Walgreens and GameStop in Canada, so that's probably not great for a lot of people. It seems like anytime Walgreens is mentioned as an exclusive for a character, people lose their minds, because I mean it seems like it's much more of a niche store when it comes to getting stuff like this, because it doesn't seem like they ever get the amount of inventory of a product as say something like a Walmart or a Target would. You know, whereas in like, for example, say Walmart probably would get like maybe 50 units of like a certain figure. I would say Walgreens, with their size of their stores, they would probably maybe get maybe 15, maybe 20,
Yeah,
maybe
and plus the
if
people that
that.
get that stuff, they're gonna be like, whatever about stocking it probably, because it
Yeah.
just seems like a weird. And plus, that's to be honest, it's kind of a weird place to have like toy exclusives. To be, if I'm being honest, I mean,
Oh
it's just
yeah.
like
It
Walgreens.
it's I don't know if they're trying to expand their their type of business, that stuff they offer.
I would at
It's
least
interesting.
want them
It's
to. I would
weird.
at least
Yeah.
see. I could see them more doing like Kroger exclusives and things like that. I'm just saying because, like for example, in Savannah and all these other places, I'm seeing these big Krogers that are popping up, and they
Mhm.
also have toy sections. And before, I was finding some good Star Wars stuff, but then I feel like maybe there's just not enough of a focus on that anymore. But they ought to.
I mean,
I just feel like that makes more sense than trying to shove that, like you said, the small amount of tiny amount of inventory into a drugstore, basically.
yeah,
It's just
yeah.
weird.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? I think like 20 years back, what would have been a big, probably a big exclusive retailer for something like this if they were still around. KB Toys, remember them?
Oh God, yeah, I loved KB
Or
Toys.
Toys R Us?
I mean, Toys R Us was great. The thing about
They're
Toys
getting.
R Us would be that the prices would be outrageous, but it would be like it was like they had good, interesting stuff. I remember as a kid, if I ever went in, and I didn't go into a Toys R Us until I was a little older, right? It was such a far-fetched, like, oh, that was you had to have money to go to a Toys R Us. So my family just it was never
Yeah.
in the cards.
Yeah.
So whenever I finally did, the prices were always kind of high. But
Mhm.
when I would go into a KB Toys, the prices could be kind of high, but it was just they had these awesome assortments of toys I'd never see anywhere else. You know what I'm saying? Like especially the video game tie-ins
Oh
and like
yeah.
I just remember going to the KB Toys, and that was where I found like the Men in Black tie-in toys and stuff. I didn't even know that existed. I had to go into a KB Toys, and they had the whole line there, and I'm like, oh, and I got like the K and J, and I grabbed a few other things. Now they weren't the greatest figures in terms of design or it was when they were kind of superposed. They were already like posed,
Oh
sort
yeah.
of. It's just kind of weird stuff.
Well, I think the thing about didn't they do like for K and J for the first Men in Black? I think they were like they had slime molds. I think that you could put on them, so they're
Yeah,
made
they were
to be in a
slime mold.
position.
Yeah,
They're
they were.
made to be
Yeah,
able to fold to be in a certain position. Like the joints would move to a position where the slime cover would fit over them
right.
to look like they're
Exactly.
covered in like the bug juice, I guess.
And they already didn't look anything like the movies. Like they didn't look like anything like close to Tommy Lee Jones or Will Smith. But it was still, I don't know. I just always thought that was cool. And to me, growing up, I didn't have to have them look exactly like the movies. And
Mhm.
I don't know. It was always like it's sort of like looking at a drawing or something. It was up to like the artist's interpretation. Now, if it just looked wonky, if it just looked stupid, I'd be like, whatever. Now, some of that stuff still looks stupid, and I gave it a pass. But if it was just like, I don't know, I think the best example I could give was when Godzilla and Lost in Space, like Trendsetters or Trendmasters or whatever they were called,
Mhm.
was putting those lines out. The face sculpts were nothing really like the people, but they were interesting. They were kind of like an artist rendition of kind of like an animated version of a character, but that's not really them, but close. And I would give it a pass. But other than that, I would point out wonkiness for sure.
Yeah, I changed over to another website that's not pelting us with an overabundance of ads.
Oh no, I noticed. I noticed the ads always popping up. But it's like, that's my problem
I
too.
kept cringing at him every time. So I was like, I don't, Herschel Walker, please don't get in my toy time.
Yeah, what a shame.
But besides that, so we've looked through these. I think that's oh wait.
I was going to say, go back up. The security droid. Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
that's the security droid. That would be great to have.
Yeah,
because I love that. That to me, when I see that droid, it makes me think. I mean, obviously K2SO has a lot of that same structure,
yeah.
but it kind of makes me think of Knights of the Old Republic, like that Old Republic era from before the reboot.
Yeah. So these are aren't these? So these are the droids that are where's this the one in the shipyards when they went to go get Mix Mayfield? I'm trying to remember
So,
where I saw this one.
I
Where
believe
it was
so. I think it was something like that, or it was like.
Well, it does have a Rebel logo on it, or
But I thought it was
New
like the
Republic
ones.
logo. I mean,
Yeah.
I could be wrong. I'm trying to remember where exactly he
What's
was
it
from.
called though? If you scroll down, where are they? What's it? New Republic Security Droid. So I mean, it looks like it's probably a reappropriated like.
Or it could be it's either. Oh wait, no. It was from the Jailbreak episode in season 1 when they with Migs Mayfield. It was it's the one where they had to break out the Twi'lek.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, I remember these guys now.
Yeah, those. I was going to say those. Even running down the hallways on that episode, they look like those those droids and
K2SO
stuff like in the
droids.
the K2S droid. But I mean, like especially
models?
the facial. Yeah, those HK models from like Knights of the Old Republic were. It's really cool that those kind of designs flow together a lot.
Well, it's funny that you mentioned the HK model because they also revealed in the pipeline that not Old Republic, but there is an HK model, HK-87 from the Mandalorian that's going to be that's in the pipeline to be made. So an HK model sounds pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think that's it for what I think we're just, that's figuring. We already looked at that one. Already looked at those guys. So we got some vintage collection stuff. Clone Trooper 4-pack. 4 slightly different versions of Tamara Morrison.
And their face sculpts look great, though. They really do a good job of these.
He
looks so good.
It's funny, but it's also really cool how you can still see it's the same base person, but they just added, slight differences to them so that they look like they're different.
Look at the one on the left. I love how gruff he looks.
Kind of, squattish. Yeah.
Look how handsome the middle left look. I love it.
So we got gaming greats. Great Stormtrooper Commander. So these are from Force Unleashed.
Force Unleashed, gotcha. Okay,
that's awesome.
Speaking of, I still haven't played the Switch release.
I did hear it was a rough port. I think was what I heard.
Was it? Is that what? I haven't. Like I was always disappointed when we found out that it was going to be basically a port of the Wii version. Yeah, I really wish they would do a decent port of the
PS3,
360
Xbox.
and PS3 version because just the graphics. I mean, at least like the gameplay and graphics were so great, and they were groundbreaking for its time too.
Oh yeah, they were. They started they were one of the first ones to use the Euphoria engine. Yeah. I think they called it natural motion. I think it's what you would see it as on the back. Because
I remember they were pushing it like crazy because they were going to use what they were doing in that game. They were going to utilize in Indiana Jones to like a bigger effect. It was going to be a much more, and then that disappeared.
That I will say the Indiana Jones game loss was still one that does still sting because there was the port. I think they made like a scaled down version. I think watered down version for the Wii, didn't they? Of what that game was going to be.
I think so. I think that's what that ended up.
Yeah, Staff of Kings.
And and what's funny is like they ended up, or before the Staff of Kings and all that. Remember that the Xbox game that was out? It may have even been a PS2 game, but I know there was an Xbox Indiana Jones game. It was Emperors.
Yeah, the Emperor. Indiana Jones and the Emperor's Tomb.
Well, so that's why I was wondering if it's like it is the Emperor's Tomb. I think
Emperor's Tomb. Yeah, that was a great game. I love that. That was a fantastic Indiana Jones game.
Really, really great. So, like, hearing about at the time we had the Xbox 360 and what it could do, and they were talking about that Euphoria engine and all that. Yeah, I was excited. That and remember we were excited for Superman Returns. Like that was going to be the game of all games, and it ended up being like, we were just like, okay.
That was one. I think that was one of the first times I realized that the things you see and read about, way before a game is ever released, I realized that sometimes things just won't make it to the actual final product. And it disappointed me because I remember reading the I think it was Electronic Gaming Monthly maybe at the time, and they were super excited. Like all the developers were talking about it. And apparently these developers, looking back at it, reading up some stuff about it, they had no clue what they were doing. These were people that worked on sports games. They had no history with working with this kind of stuff. Wow. So this was all new for them. And so, yeah, the biggest thing I just remember just not being there was because you remember the big Metallo fight, right? That was a big showpiece that they would keep telling you about. And one of the big things you could do this in like one of the early alpha demos, was you could pick up this giant, basically like this giant obelisk in Metropolis, like this big monument type thing. You could pick it up and basically use it like a giant baseball bat and, hit him and knock him down. And they were saying how great it looked in the little demo they did. And yeah, they completely took that off. They took that whole little monument out of the final product. You can find where the monument was in the map. And it's just this whole little area where it looks like there's something that's supposed to be there, and it's not there anymore. It's just, that was so much potential, and it just fell apart. Back to Star Wars.
No, it was good memories though, because those were like that to me, those were big leaps in terms of gaming, like like all the stuff they could do in games. Because really, since then we've pretty much just kind of, it feels like we've tweaked and kind of like made stuff a little better and run faster and look, but other than that, it all pretty much is the same as it was in the 360 and onward.
Yeah, they
were really groundbreaking back then. But anyway,
I'd say if you want to go like great spectrum comparison, is to look at the very first Spider-Man game that came out on the PlayStation and the Nintendo 64, the first 3D Spider-Man game, and then
I remember that.
And then look at the new one that came out in 2018. It's just like how far we've come since then.
Oh yeah,
it looks But back to Star Wars, another vintage we got is a heavy assault stormtrooper. So a lot of army building in these. I've noticed that's the thing that I've never been into that everybody else seems to, or a lot of collectors seem to really like, is the whole concept of building like a little stormtrooper army. Yeah, which I can get it, but if for some reason I think my wallet just screams at me, it's like, no, that's a dumb idea for you to try. But and we also got this Mandalorian Super Commander. That actually does look really awesome. It's really pretty. I love that the color scheme on it.
No, he looks pretty.
Let's see. Character from the Clone Wars. Okay, so this is a Clone Wars. Oh yeah, you might like this one. Check this out.
Oh yeah, Anakin Padawan figure. That's good. Yeah. The only thing is these lightsabers and stuff always kind of give me flashbacks to the episode 2 lightsabers, and oh my god, as interesting as like, oh, that could work as a concept. They didn't. I don't think they.
Are you talking about how like they kind of like flare at the bottom a little bit?
They flare at the bottom, and they disconnected. You can pull them out of the blade, out of the hilt, and they would always they were too delicate, and they would break. The little stem would break, so. Yeah, I just felt like I like the solid. If anything, they should just give you two, like a solid blade, and then like with episode 1, you had the full blade and then the hilt. Those were great. I just feel like it just works better that way. You don't have stuff breaking on you.
Yeah. And we got another vintage for Ahsoka's Clone Trooper. So we already had this in Black Series come out, and now it's getting the vintage treatment. Which I wish this hadn't sold out so quick, because I wouldn't have mind. This is one Stormtrooper design I wouldn't have mind having for the Black Series, but
no, it looks nice.
They sold like hotcakes. And that's it for the regular stuff that they revealed. But then last night, Ewan McGregor was on Jimmy Kimmel, and in that episode, he revealed the Wandering Jedi Obi-Wan.
That looks so good.
He's got a soft goods cloak. Looks great. I love the design for it. So I'm liking the kind of like the drifter look he has.
No, this looks great. It looks so good. Look at the lightsaber even looks good. Face sculpt looks good. Is there any other pictures, or is this it?
Not for that one. There's none.
Okay.
But you
I
know
was just
what?
wondering, but it's so good.
Well, if I was trying to see if I could. Oh, comic book resources, you're so strange.
We're just gonna drown you in ads. Blah 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 blah.
I was
blah,
just trying
blah.
to pull this up. Oh my god, more ads. Okay. Oh my god, I thought it was there. And I was wrong again.
Silly Billies, you guys are so silly.
Oh god, it's the same place. I'm losing
I
my.
think,
Oh my god. Okay, yeah, we're just gonna stop there with that. But yeah,
But no, I think I'm excited because I mean it looks great. I hope we get figures of even the Inquisitor, the Grand Inquisitor, and like all the Inquisitorius that shows up in the movie. I hope they put figures out for all those.
for
That'd
the
be
live.
great.
It would
But
be
we
pretty
still
cool.
need. I know I say this a lot, but I just want to keep putting it out in the atmosphere. We need a Crate Luke series. Like I know we had the 3 3/4 inch. Was it though? You would consider that the vintage collection Crate
Yeah.
Luke, which I've never seen in person. But they got to put out a Black Series Crate Lukes. It look like I know that didn't you mention that they're going to be putting out like a version of Luke from Mandalorian or from Book of Boba Fett or something?
Yeah, but they had 2 pipeline reveals in the live stream yesterday, and that was the HK-87 and also Luke from the Mandalorian season 2 ending. So it was going to be the full Jedi Master Luke with I imagine he's going to be with his cloak, because they didn't have anything other than just a picture of the character, not a picture of the figure. It's not done. I guess they're still in the middle of sculpting it.
Which I'm getting that. That's
Yeah.
definitely a must for me. I've got to get that. But I would like to see like a Crate Luke as well, because man, that's just I love that design.
Yeah, I would definitely like that if Disney can ever get back to wanting to acknowledge the sequel movies again.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I feel like there's some of that stuff that they could probably go back and put some attention on, but who knows?
Well, I think one problem they had was with the sequel trilogy with the figures they made. I think they ended up making a lot of figures for characters that didn't really resonate too well with people.
All that wasted plastic.
Yeah, they didn't sell well. Like, I mean, which strange, some of them you think would sell well, and then some of them didn't. Like, I wasn't like, for example, I wasn't too surprised Rose didn't sell too well, because most of the people who were probably most interested in the character, I don't know. Maybe I don't think that they would.
Well, I feel like it was just a niche.
Collectors.
It was like a niche audience in terms of like Rose fans.
Yeah.
So, and those people, only some of them collect toys. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
So so you're going to limit that, and the other people are really not going to buy her other than the collectors that get full sets.
Mm-hmm.
So there's just going to be so much of her left over, but they put a lot of her out. So you would think that since she's a secondary character, I would expect them to do less of her, and you would want to just pump out more first line characters just by default.
Mm-hmm.
And then let's say, oh my God, like this Rose is selling like hotcakes. We got to put more out. I mean, I just feel like it makes more sense because you're going to be safer with your hero characters, like Finn, Rey,
and then your main villain, villain like Kylo Ren. Yeah, Kylo Ren.
And they also had to watch it on that too, because you got to watch how many villains. But then also the extra. And I get it. With Star Wars, you have all the aliens too, so you want to pepper out all the aliens. You got to do all their figures. But if they're not, I don't know, especially the ones that just aren't even in the movie or are barely, I don't know, like it's just.
Well, like as cool as
they put way too many of them out.
Well, I will say,
like, people are going to love these 3-second characters, and I'm like, that's totally fine. But I feel like you need to test the market with that kind of stuff. You always want to start light. Like I would prefer to print like 10,000 loots, press 10,000, whatever you call it, 10,000 loots, and do 2,000 of snot nose or whatever the alien of the week is, and then see, and people love that snot nose, and we're going to up the production on it. Let's put another 10 or whatever in there.
Well, I will say that I think between The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi, I think probably they did dial their lineup back a little bit, because I remember
No, they
Force
dialed it
Awakens.
back a lot.
Well, I remember Force Awakens particularly had a lot of like the kind of thing you're talking about, where there were a lot of figures made for characters that were maybe in the movie for like a split second. You either saw them on Jakku or in Takodana in Maz's bar.
Yeah.
Like for instance, I mean, he's a great design, and I think I missed get. Yeah, I did miss getting him, but the Crimson Corsair.
Yep.
He's cool
great,
design,
great design.
But he really doesn't appear in the movie. I think I can't even place where he appears if he was on Jakku or if he was in Takodana.
It was Takodana because remember he was part
Takodana.
of the. I think he was part of the crew that Finn was going to take off. with,
okay, all right.
You know, and so or
I mean,
they kind of did take off with or whatever, but
Yeah.
but no, it was like there was that one. Yeah, but the thing is like there was even a character that they put out in Black Series that I don't even know if it made it into the movie. But it ended up in the books. Like they used the character in one of the books with Luke.
Oh, right. I think I know who you're talking about.
And I remember I would see that one a lot.
Are you talking about this guy?
No, but you would see that one, and then you're talking about Crimson Corsair up in the upper right. Then there was this other character. Yeah. Then there was another character that Luke fought. It was in the book. What was it? It was Luke. Was it the Weapon of a Jedi? Yeah, it was the book Weapon of a Jedi, and it had. If you look up that book, it's. I'm trying to remember the name of that character. Let's see. Why aren't you giving me character names? All right. I think I found the right. Yeah, there we go. This is the book, because Jason Fry wrote the book.
Mm-hmm.
And then Luke has a dangerous duel against a strange new villain, Sarko Plank.
Oh, that does sound familiar.
It's like that ugly, looks like a big toenail on its face. Let me share this. It's pretty hideous. We got to show everybody.
Although
kind of like when you take a big poo, you're just like, hey, check this poo out.
Huh.
See? Sarko Plank. It was like this figure I would see a lot of. And I think there was a reference like he was going to be a bigger. And that other character you pointed to, the sheriff, wasn't he like the sheriff of Jakku?
Yeah, he was like I think he was like a sheriff type.
It's now that, and what's funny is what's his name playing that character? The Indian guy that's always. I'm trying to remember his name. It's not Deepak. Anyway, this guy. Sarko Plank. I was going to say Dameron. This was the guy that Luke ended up fighting and kind of like testing his lightsaber skills early on that they established in the new canon. So that was like the way they kind of made that character important. But I think Sarko was supposed to be in Force Awakens and ended up not being it. We could even look here behind the scenes. And the base of the character is produced by senior. Let's see for the Force Awakens. Let's see, he used as a placeholder for the villain character that ultimately became Sarko Plank and blah, blah, blah. But yeah, they never, further concept art was produced in January 2014. Yeah. I'm trying to remember where he was at in the film, though, because like he ended up not being into a full costume. But I don't even know if it was ever even seen or, I don't know, maybe that's where it's talking about.
Yeah, because I don't remember that design ever appearing in the movie. But then again, I couldn't even place.
And also, I didn't think about this. But I bet some of the stuff that even didn't make it on screen probably gets included in those visual dictionaries too, like the visual guides. And I'm telling you, that's another thing I love about Lucas and film and all that. They have those guides are super specific, and every little character and they'll have like some of their tools and stuff they have, whatever objects, weapons. They always have like some little story with them. They've kept that alive, and I'm so appreciative of that. So.
But yeah, like I was saying though about the dialing back, I would say that because you're talking about wanting Craig Luke, I think after what happened with Last Jedi, and I think because Lucasfilm I think got a little scared because of how I don't think they were anticipating how divisive it got, but then Rise of Skywalker came. I think they also thought, okay, we got our hole in the one to stick the landing, and that definitely didn't go as they planned either. So I think any plans that they probably had around those two movies around merchandising, I think they decided to probably just cut it off as soon as they could after that. Unfortunately, because there were certain characters I would have loved. I mean, I mentioned before and other stuff, like I think I may have mentioned this a long time ago, but like I would have loved to have gotten a Rey Jedi at the very end with her yellow lightsaber.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I would have loved to have gotten
that.
or Ben Solo with did he have his mother's lightsaber or was it Luke's lightsaber that he used?
Hold on, I'm trying to remember because it's been a minute. I feel like it.
I think it was Luke's because she was holding Luke's to take down to full Palpatine. So I think she had Leia's out. That would have that he probably would have caught that. So
yeah, it was.
Yeah, I would have loved to have
reconstructed Anakin blade for sure.
Yeah, I would have liked having a Ben Solo figure.
Me too. See, I would have loved a Ben Solo figure. I see that's the kind of figures you really want to think about putting out, like those kind of variants, like a Ben Solo figure like that, and then like a Luke or a. There was another character that I feel like they didn't even put out that they could have.
Well, did they ever Did they do Poe Dameron in his? Because I would say out of all the movies, his outfit that he wore throughout it, this kind of Nathan Drake-ish kind of outfit, that was probably one of the coolest ones. I would have loved to have had an action figure.
Oh, you're talking about from the Rise of Skywalker? Yeah, I don't know if that one ever came out, but I agree with you. That one was a great one. That was a great because that one was like a scaled down version of the one from this. Because I loved his outfit in the second Last Jedi because it was like kind of reminiscent of Han, because he had his kind of like his jacket and just his trousers and boots and stuff like that. And he just kind of had that smugglerish look to him. Mm. But then, within that one, like you said, it had that Nathan Drake. Yeah. It was like a really cool swashbuckler kind of look. Yeah. And yeah, man, it took them a while to really nail his figures. But like, I thought like when they did the Last Jedi figure for him, that's when they really started getting the space sculpt right. Cause I had to get that one. But God, it was that first one. I remember being so excited and opening night for Force Awakens toys, and seeing that Poe Dameron figure and just being like, ooh. Like everything else looked all right, and that one was kind of like, ooh, is that what they did to his face? Like that's what they call a 5 o'clock shadow. It was.
Oh
was
yeah,
weird.
I do remember that,
dude. It was so weird.
Sorry,
I was just going to say, I have, and the thing is I have the Elite, you call it the Elite Series figure, the die-cast, it was like the Disney Store exclusives. I bought the Disney Store exclusive of him and Phasma. That's another character, like I love me some Phasma. I wish they had, done like a Phasma with the sphere. I don't think they ever, or if they did, I think it was an exclusive because I know there was one with the damaged helmet, but
I think that was her main. I think that was her main figure for Last Jedi. I think was the damaged helmet because.
See, and I never even saw it. I never even got a hold of it.
I don't think I ever got a hold, but I think you can see it on Amazon. Like if you just search for Black Series Phasma. I think that's what
I was going to say. Like she was great, but anyway, what was I saying? I got off on the Phasma train.
Characters you would have liked to have seen.
No. What was I just? I was just saying. But anyway, I don't know. But no, like Phasma was definitely like a must. It was the thing about like with the Black Series. Like I remember, like I would see Thrawn a lot in that Last Jedi line, and it was so weird how it didn't make sense that they released it at that moment, and it seemed like they sacrificed a lot of. It seemed like it was a sacrifice for whatever other Last Jedi figures they were talking about. So it's like, I don't know that I still grabbed it because it was great to have. I just wish that they had picked a better time to unroll that one out with everything else. Cause I remember it coming out with the Last Jedi figures.
I think one thing they need to start remembering, and I think they've gotten a little better at it, but I don't think we'll be really tested with it until maybe another movie comes around. But it seems like they have a hard time because one thing I'll really notice about a figure is what'll sell best is usually a character that is either a main character or is a very cool in one way or another character, like has really great moments in a film.
Right.
If your
Exactly.
character doesn't have great moments or something like that, or something that's just really, really cool,
I did have to
it's
snatch
not.
up that.
Yeah, it just doesn't
Right.
have. Yeah, because like I would say before I saw the movie, one character I thought was going to be really cool was going to be DJ in Last Jedi. Because I mean,
Oh, yeah.
Benicio del Toro. How do you go wrong?
I
with
was
it?
the same
I
way.
wasn't. I
Same way.
wasn't impressed with the character. So then I was like, every time I saw him afterwards, like, yeah, it's
Yeah,
not worth.
and I
It's not
was,
worth.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was so close to buying it, but I was thinking Babu Frick from Rise of Skywalker I loved. So after I saw one of those, I think it was a Target exclusive,
Mhm.
and I was able to get it. Was like he came with 3PO. You would get
Yeah.
3PO with the 3PO or with the Chewbacca bandolier.
Mhm.
But what I was talking about earlier was the deluxe series figures from Disney Store. I just remember having the Phasma figure, and I had the Poe Dameron figure, and he looked great. I mean, he come with a helmet, he come with a gun. He was in the flight suit, and that figure looked way better. And that was a die-cast figure, and they couldn't get the face sculpt on the Black Series. It was so weird.
Man. Well,
I think we've been on the Star Wars train. I was going to say real quick, is there any other Star Wars toy news that we haven't talked about? If not, I was gonna jump over real quick and try to at least touch on some non-Star Wars real quick.
Yeah, not that I can recall. But yeah, well, one place we can jump over to is Marvel, because Marvel has done some stuff recently.
Go ahead, you have it.
Well, I know, I'm just saying I can't but we got a big movie coming out tomorrow.
Doctor Strange
tonight, actually. Yeah, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. There was a line that came out with it. I'll show it with my haul, but they did release some figures. I did get one of the figures from Multiverse of Madness, the Marvel Legends.
I was trying to see because I know that they
G.I. Joe, the movie,
all like G.I. Joe stuff. So I don't know.
Interesting.
Oh, I was going to say this is what I was going to talk about. NECA had some pretty cool reveals. Ugh, I think y'all just go to the NECA page.
Well, also in the meantime, while he's pulling that up, Marvel also did reveal.
Hey, how you doing, NECA?
They just released them, so they're on Hasbro Pulse now and other places. But they've put out a Thor Love and Thunder line.
There we go.
Which has got some pretty fantastic figures. I've got a couple of those I'll show off.
Dude, I want the Star-Lord figure, and like
fantastic.
I'm trying to see. Yeah, I was going to say the Star-Lord. There was another one that I was thinking about in that line about getting. I really like the Thor, like the made up, like in his full armor.
Oh yeah, that does
Thor
look cool,
looks amazing. But I was going to say one big thing. Why is that not sharing? It's so weird. That's so odd. Anyway, let me.
Are you blocked from Instagram?
It's like I've got it on the correct screen, but it's not sharing it.
It's not sharing the correct screen.
Yeah, but I'll do it again. But bing. There we go.
Instagram trying to hide itself.
So to me, this was a really cool, like bigger. Really? Okay. Well, how about this? We're about to probably not remember our login. I am good. Shut up. Go. Right. Anyway, so.
Bride of Frankenstein.
Judith. Yeah, I was going to say Judith Hogue had announced that she had done some sort of a collaboration because NECA was putting out these turtle figures. They were like and we might could even find some here in the.
Oh, that's what you meant by Judith. Okay, so that's really cool. So this is like a crossover.
Yeah, because what figure. I was going to show you what they were doing before this. Yeah, they were doing these like turtle crossovers.
Yeah. I didn't realize
Universal Monsters.
I guess it slipped by me because April's human. So when I just saw it, I just saw Bride of Frankenstein. I didn't you don't see the turtle look.
Wrong.
Yeah. Because I know you're talking about like I think there's like a Leonardo Frankenstein's monster type
Yeah,
thing there.
like
It's
see, for example, here's
Michelangelo.
like Mikey with as a mummy and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So see it's freaky. Ugh. That looks like I bet
Great.
they probably got the inspiration here from that. Remember the photo of the mask that was like, I think it was like the Turtles 3 mask that had started to deteriorate.
Hmm.
Or whatever. Do you
Oh
remember
yeah.
that? Like
Yeah.
I seen it floating around and it's just freakishly
Mhm.
looking. I bet that's what they modeled that after. But see, anyway, they were doing these, and so then they announced that they were doing a collaboration with Judith to do an April figure, and I was like, that sounds pretty awesome. Which, by the way, I've been seeing these floating around Walmart like crazy now.
I'm
Like
surprised you haven't gotten
they're
it.
oh, I'm tempted. It's just like I'm trying to be good because I've been spending so much money on other things.
It
But
would be a way for you to have a Elias, aliens coating
that's
his
the only
head.
reason I want it. That and the sculpts or the paint or the drawings, of the
Mhm.
turtles and the scenes from the movie that
Oh,
she
and
has. It
well,
comes
also
with
the
all
turtle
that
wax.
and the turtle wax.
That's why.
But anyway, so Judith, she collaborated with him and they finally released it. But this is like her. She's doing the Bride of Frankenstein, and it
That's
actually looks
great.
really good. I mean, she does looks like they've got like different
Oh yeah,
reporters styled weapons and things like that. She has
that looks
a little rat,
fantastic. Yeah.
which is pretty cool. Look, I like how she's got this little tube thing going in her neck.
Oh man, yeah. Oh man, this is really
Don't
cool
that look
looking.
great? I mean, I'm just saying it looks, and
I,
look, I love that.
this
Box.
completely slipped by me that this was like whenever I saw the pictures
Oh,
of it,
and
I didn't see the boxes or anything. So yeah, I just thought this was
what,
just regular Bride of Frankenstein.
right? No, yeah, it's her. And it's like, what's funny, look at the rats. They got the body parts growing off them, like the ears
Oh.
and the eyeballs. And then look at the sigh. The sigh is like the sigh she has, and then she's got her purse. So I mean, it's great. It's
Oh
definitely like
man,
a cool set if you're interested in this,
that
in this
is
line at all. I mean, it's definitely really, really cool.
that is great. Well, I also saw in that picture, so we're getting the aliens also from They Live. Looks like, or an alien from They Live
What this?
at the top left. Yeah.
Yeah, this is one of the Toonie Tears. I think I've already seen it
Oh,
or
it's
it's
a
coming
Toonie Tears.
out. Yeah, it's a Toonie Tears, but I think they've done they do have like the actual deluxe figures.
Huh.
And I was gonna say I don't see it here yet. I probably have to go way far back to find it, but
Mhm.
it's supposed to be dropping any time now. But the RoboCop
Huh.
is supposed to be that figure should be coming at some point because it said April, I think, of this year. So
Nice.
I haven't seen it at all, and I haven't seen it in Target or Walmart, or comic shops and stuff that I've been to.
Yeah. Yeah.
But when it does, man, that's one NECA figure I have to have. But
Well, maybe maybe you'll be able to get it soon
I
when
hope
it comes
so.
out.
I hope so. But
Well,
I guess that's going to do it for this week.
well, do we want to do hauls real quick?
Yeah, man. If you got a
Yeah.
haul, let's hear it.
Oh
I do
yeah,
have one
I got
thing
a
to show,
couple.
I guess. So yeah,
Well, you
let's
want to go ahead and show yours first then?
Yeah, yeah. You want to see it? I'll whip it out.
Yeah.
No, it's not. I was trying to think. I hadn't gotten a good toy in a while. I was gonna say I think the last time I showed off the Marty and all that, right? And my Batman, I think was the last time.
Mhm.
But I had been chasing a particular record, and yes, I know I'm always buying records, but there's a particular one I was chasing for a while, and finally was able to grab one. But I've been wanting to get this Dark Knight vinyl for a while, and dude, it's just ever since I've seen like this, it's supposed to be neon green and violet splatter vinyl, so it's supposed to be sort of a Joker inspired.
Mhm.
If you look on the back, you got the Joker, and I love the
Oh, that's great.
fine. Yeah, I was gonna say, and it's got liner notes where it really like Christopher Nolan talks about like making the score and like all the process and stuff.
Mhm.
So these are great, and they also, being like a vinyl head, they put it in real good packaging too, so it doesn't damage. But yeah, dude, check out the colors. Like,
Oh yeah. Does it look
you
great
get
when it's spinning?
oh yeah, for sure. And it just when the light hits it a certain way, the green pops on these dots and stuff with the purple.
Oh,
Looks
man.
great. And then the other vinyl is like a green base with purple dots. And it looks.
Have they done
you really can't like the video really doesn't do it justice. It makes it look yellowish here. It looks like a big mint cookie. But if you looked at it in person, it's a way darker green, and it's just really cool.
That's fantastic, though. That looks awesome.
Dude. No, this is great. And in the soundtrack, I sat and listened to this whole thing, and dude, it's just amazing. I love the score.
Well, here's a question: since you're much more well versed with vinyl than me, have they already made a vinyl, or at least maybe re-released one for Prince's soundtrack for the '89 Batman? Because remember, he did the entire soundtrack, I think.
No, he did the entire soundtrack. I was trying to think because I've got the score. I've got the score, and I'm pretty sure they re-released it. I've only got a single that they re-released for Record Store Day. It's got Party Man, like the Party Man mix, and I've seen the Bat Dance single, and that's been re-released as well because those were all singles that would come out, and then they finally released the album. I'm pretty sure they reissued the Prince Batman soundtrack on vinyl. I just haven't seen it in a while, or I would just go ahead and grab it. But I've seen the score. You can find it right now. I think in Best Buy, it's like on a blue, pressed on like a turquoise or something like a ocean blue vinyl or something like that.
Just for some reason, when you started pulling out the colors and the on the vinyl, my mind immediately just started thinking of the lyrics to Party Man. Yeah, Party Man just started playing in my head all of a sudden. I was like, I started having a beat. But so that's your haul.
Yep, that's it. That's pretty much it.
So it's been a little while since we've been able to do hauls. But so I've actually compiled a good little number of things recently. So one is for the movie coming out this weekend, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. I got Defender Strange.
Oh, that looks so good.
Yeah, this is it's great. Like he's got a ponytail. I can't wait to see this character in the film.
I know.
Well, another cool thing, though, is what comes with him, because this is the only figure that comes with this, but he has a portal.
That's so cool. Yeah, and what's funny is when I first picked up that figure, I remember asking you about it or what you thought. Yeah. And you mentioned that portal. That's when I looked at it. I was like, oh, crap, there is a portal in there. And I'm like, that looked awesome.
Well, my plan right now is eventually when they finally come out, because they were announced in the last Marvel stream that they are in the process still of making the Tobey and Andrew Garfield Spider-Man for the figures for No Way Home. And apparently, according to Hasbro, what they said in live stream was they were even in the dark about that whole reveal. That's why there was never any, the toy things were for No Way Home were very slim. I think it was only like Spider-Man and Doctor Strange. I think maybe another figure or two. Very, very slim. So now that the cat was out of the bag about that, now they're finally making it. I think it's going to be early next year. So my plan is if I can get them, I'm going to set them up with some. I'm going to have them.
So they will release all the Spider-Man?
Yeah, they said they were busy making because they did release like a little promo poster that showed
that's gonna be
the
great.
Amazing Spider-Man. I think they call them the Amazing Spider-Man and the Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. So Friendly Neighborhood is Tobey Maguire and Amazing is Andrew Garfield.
Yeah, I was going to say I would definitely be partial and have to get Tobey for sure because I would want to get Tobey and I'd want to get hopefully they would do Doc Ock because I would.
Yeah, I'm wondering if they'll do those two.
They've got to get and Green Goblin. I would want to get Green Goblin and they need to do like just alternate so they have the mask and the one where he's got the hood.
Well, simply because I actually ended up kind of liking the maskless Goblin more than just his regular costume. I think.
I think want the alternate. I want both.
The hood was so effective, and you just get to let Willem Dafoe just go nuts with the role, and
that's what I'm hoping they'll do because I think that's pretty much all you would need, right? Just that they would just give you alternate heads or something like that to go on.
Marvel.
And it would be like a cloak or something that you had to put on him, right? Yeah, I'm trying to remember. It's just
when he first showed up, he was basically he was just regular Goblin. Then after Peter got pulled away from him, he broke the helmet, and then I think he just put on a purple cloth that he found, and he kind of wraps that around himself, and it's
like a poncho almost, right? It just kind of goes around his shoulders over.
I think he wears some straps and stuff like weapon straps around himself too. After that,
that's true. So they'll probably they would probably need to do two different ones. Then they would probably need to do I would want both though. I would really want that the original Green Goblin too, but no, I would definitely want the alternate Goblin, like you said, the new one when he.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
God, it's so good.
Right, even the all the designs
Yeah,
for the villains were
Electro,
fantastic.
yeah.
Like his design was even like a lot better than the one in the Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Oh,
Yeah,
way better, especially when he would sometimes like the light
the
would flicker and you
actual
kind of see the mask
yeah.
thing. I thought that was that was a cool nod.
So that's the only Multiverse of Madness. But next up, I got some of the figures from Thor: Love and Thunder. So first off, we have Thor himself in his Ravager gear.
Look at that handsome. He looks like a wrestler right there. I mean, it looks like a wrestling character.
I dug the look for it, so I ended up picking this
it.
one over the other one, over the armored one. I don't know, for some reason I'm more drawn to the unconventional Thor looks.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
no, for sure.
I still haven't gotten him, but I want Fat Thor from Endgame. I really need to get him.
Did they ever put him out?
Yeah, he's still on Hasbro Pulse. I just haven't bitten the bullet and bought him yet. He's still
See, that would be. I actually would consider getting that because I loved Fat Thor.
Oh yeah. And so I also got Mighty Thor, Jane.
Nice. That sculpt and everything looks so dang good.
Yeah, and this is what you're talking about. With alternate heads, she actually does come with an alternate head with the helmet.
Oh, sweet. See, that's cool that they did that.
Yeah, and it's a great sculpt. Good likeness for Natalie Portman. Also, and this was one you were talking about, Star-Lord. I love this figure. Great sculpt for Chris Pratt's head. And the detail on it's really good.
Yeah,
I mean, I would say slightly let down that there's not an alternate head where he has the Star-Lord mask, his space mask that he uses.
Yeah, I didn't think about that.
But you know what? I'm fine with that. Like, it still looks great. As it is, it looks great. I'll probably chalk it up to the fact that he's not the main character of the movie. Maybe that would be my guess as to why he doesn't come with an alternate head. And one last Marvel one before I jump over to the other last ones I have. I did get this character recently also, Miss Marvel from the Avengers video game.
Nice.
A pretty simple character. I just ended up liking her character in the game. She like that version of her in the story from that game with her actually got me interested in the character. So like I'm excited for the show coming up. I think next month.
Oh yeah, that's right. It is coming up.
So also, and last is Star Wars related. Yeah. Awesome. We have
Ahsoka
from The Mandalorian.
Man, that looks so good.
Yeah, it's the sculpt for Rosaria's face is just phenomenal. Looks fantastic. And for me, because I have the Rebels Ahsoka too. One thing I really appreciate about this with the costume design is they made her without heels because I
was going to say the one I have.
Heels are terrible for female characters. I've noticed, like for any kind of action figure, they cannot stand. And
they need to come up with a better way. If they could come up with a better way to help them stand, would be one thing. But like you said, they never stand right. Like I have the other Ahsoka, the first Black Series Ahsoka, and it's like those heels on her, and she don't stand by herself.
This one, great. Like she has a great shirt. I haven't had once I got her in this position, she is sturdy. She has not had any problems balancing, standing in place.
I would love to have it would be cool if they did a figure of the woman she fights in that episode.
Oh yeah, the magistrate.
The magistrate. I would love to have that, like that just to have that scene go down. That was a good fight.
And here's a feature you might like. I think this is going to be a new thing with lightsabers. But have you seen that they do this now?
Oh, nice.
I think just have the heels.
That's cool. At least
they slide right back in.
Nice. Yeah, I was going to say I think my Dooku one.
It does that too.
Yeah.
Okay, like I've noticed some do it, and this is the first time I've had one that actually does that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's really cool. And my last one is completes my Bad Batch collection. Oh no, there goes Thor.
Broke. With my broke
Echo.
batch. Oh, nice.
And let me see if I can grab it. His helmet's interesting because it's molded to the way his head looks. Because you see how he has the back, but there's his face.
Ah, that looks so good.
See, and that's how the helmet fits onto the little back plate, is that they have it open in the back, so it just slides over it. But yeah, looks great figure.
No, that looks really good. Good toy.
So yeah, other than Crosshair being in his Imperial uniform, I do have the Bad Batch group, team completed, which is awesome. I was wanting to get all of them. I did not think I was going to be able to get all of them, but I do have them all in one way or another. So that's my haul.
That's his haul, guys. Well, I guess that's going to be it for this week, guys, because I think we've hit the hour and 10 mark, so everybody's gone home.
It's
crickets.
We had to do the hauls. I want to show off a little bit.
Oh no, you're good. I'm about to take a sip of my Ecto Cooler. And I'm going to bid everybody a good night.
Later days, people.
Bye,
days.
Guys.
That toy life. To catch these ghosts, you need the real Ghostbusters.
Nice landing, Han Solo.
Spaceships and Luke Skywalker sold separately. Batteries not included.